Welcome more to some more Domions 6 with the enhanced, I suppose, overhaul mod, we can call it like that, I think, with how much stuff it changes. We've gotten to level 4 of construction, which means that we get Soldiers of Steel, which is a more effective version that covers a bigger area than our Temple Steel, which is actually our national spell, which is a better version of this one that everyone else gets. Area of effect 3, while this one is 10. Are we getting anything else that's good? Magma Forge we are not very interested in, actually, at least not for now. Flaming Arrows. Can we even get a fire 2? Before we look into the other stuff, we have a very small chance of getting a fire 2 on each of our 3 mages. So it's unlikely we don't have one yet. It's unlikely that we are going to be seeing that spell being used by us in combat. There is, however, a way to increase magic paths. However, it comes at a high cost of gems. So for example, if you take our Shaman Raffle here and we go to Empowerment, we can see that for 30 fire gems we can empower him to fire 2. So if we, and there are also items that increase, when equipped, increase your knowledge in certain paths, but in order to craft them you usually need to already have access to said path. Like for example, we'll be probably crafting earth boots in the future. It's going to be another tier of magic items that are going to increase our magic, earth magic by +1, but they require, I think, earth magic of 2 to be constructed. And fire helmet requires fire 3 or even 4. So that's for now out of our reach. Was there anything else in here? Clockwork Smith, if we want to spam magic items without using up research returns from our Warrior Smith. However, considering the cost, well, they can, you can get one for 15, and then the items that he crafts cost 1 gem less for each item. So if you craft 15, then it's like if you've gotten this guy for free. However, I wonder, it can be Clockwork Soldiers actually. So that actually does sound good, and I am definitely going to be summoning one of them, for example, at this throne. Clockwork Smith, 15 earth gems. And do I want another one here? Maybe let's cast it once and we shall see exactly what do we get, and then we will think about if we want any more of them. We can summon Clockwork Horrors, or rather construct them, which have like 2 size for hands and they have piston-driven side arms, not just on the crop, but they can use them not just on crops, but on hapless inhabitants of Hoburg. Hoburgs are basically hobbits of Dominions. They are smaller, then they enjoy nature. They have actually some heavy troops, but in later ages. Prime Hoburg Weed. That should tell you exactly what they are like. What else? Conjoints, that's I imagine to be used against constructs. If we see any, then we can cast this spell, an area of effect spell, to damage them and slow them down. A crusher. I think this one's good for tanking and maybe for taking castles. We might try one actually. Only 6 gems, and we do have an elf 3 mage, or even 2 at this point. And now let's go back to our messages. We didn't find any new magical site. We did see 2 battles between what are they called again? Mictlan and Rus. It seems like this one is a smaller engagement using the mercenaries that we saw a few episodes back with the concert commander, who's actually a priest, has a sword of sharpness and an okay shield, and also has a special repelling barbed armor attack. Okay. Cannot be repelled, only a chance of this weapon being used, and he also has the poison barbs, has increased protection, natural protection, so that's a very capable fighter, it seems like, and also sacred, so he might get even more buffs if he gets blessed, and he can bless himself. So that's a very good mercenary commander. In a bunch of warriors against, looks like, province defense, with 3 priests in total who won't be able to do much, and a chieftain, and that is a Simurgh, a flying dog, a strange winged dog from the lands of Rus. It's sometimes summoned by mages to aid in hunts and patrols. It does have Dark 50 and patrol bonus 10. So if you are dealing with unrest in your provinces and have access to air magic and this specific summon, which might be unique to Rus or maybe to like nations that have similar theme to Rus, then you might want to summon a few of these, set them on patrol, and they might actually, because they are flying, I think they might get an additional bonus to patrol from that, I think, or just from the fact that they are very fast. And since they are flying, you can also move them around quickly on the strategic map. So to deal with unrest seems like a good tool to use, and it seems like these shamblers, they hit fairly hard as they are size 4, so they are a little bit stronger. This one is weakened, however, strength -4, but still hits like an SUV, maybe not like a truck, and they have a decent protection, not so much on the head, and the poison barbs that poison attackers if they attack them with a short weapon, like a sword or a dagger, or I don't know, a bite or claw attack, for example. So yeah, Mictlan didn't take any losses there. Rus has lost their flying doggo, unfortunately, and that was in here. Maybe Mictlan moving into territory of Rus, and then another fight in the throne, where Mictlan tried to move in and take it from them. They have a bunch of wolves with them, which can be okay for flanking maneuvers to distract enemy mages, but they have to be placed correctly. 2 frost fiends with ice rods to handle the weapons, with an extra 10 armor piercing damage on hit, and good attack and defense, length 3, so a very good weapon. They have ice protection, so in cold provinces they will get, I think, 1 natural armor per cold scale, but in here it doesn't look like it's cold at all. You can see weather and scales, it's actually heat 2. So they aren't getting any bonus, so this 3 is probably just their natural armor and that they always come with, and they only have these heavy magic ropes, so not very well defended, a little bit more HP, and a Frost Blast, area of effect 1, armor piercing with range of 35, so probably best to... And they are flying, so we can use them either to harass enemies from the distance, or maybe if you are in Cold Province and they have more protection, to fly them at the back of your enemy. They also have Chill and Cold Power, so they would have bonus to like Strength, I think. Not sure if anything else in Cold Provinces, so not the best place for them to fight. They have Astral 2 Blood 2 with 2 Astral Pearls and some accompanying Blood Slaves. A Moon Priest, a bunch of shades as well, who apply weakness to enemies and are ethereal. They have no protection, a few hit points, and they have the Spy. They are like a regular unit, so I don't think the Spy is helpful. However, if you were to Gift of Reason them, I think is the spell's name, somewhere in the Astral Magic Tree, you can turn them into commanders and probably excellent spies. They have some Spine Devils with Venomous Claws and Barbed Tails and fairly good natural protection, a lot of HP, but still size 3. So they won't be as easily overwhelmed. And then they got some of their elite Sun Warriors and Moon Warriors with these heavy two-handed club swords, and they are going against a bunch of hunters, crocodiles, some wolves, bear warriors with double axes, warriors with shields and axes and medium armor. Seems like only one skin shifter and more warriors, some province defense, and a thunder priest who has air magic 2, nature magic 2, and 2 nature gems at their backs. We shall see someone's casting a blessing, body ethereal, and it looks like the Frost Devils already jumped into the back of the enemies and got hit really hard very fast with the axes, while themselves not dealing any damage. They have cold resistance and they deal blunt and magic, but the cold resistance protects against the extra effect. We see a small Zephyr in here. So that's a scout commander. The wolves are moving in, however, not really flanking their archers. The Frost Devils, or whatever they called, got dispatched. There's a second skin shifter. This one already turned into a werebear and is poisoned by one of the Spine Devils. So Rus is taking a few losses, it seems, from the summoned demons, but not very much. And their skin shifters, if they come out alive in battle in their bear form, I believe they are not lost, and they just turn back into their human form and are ready to fight in another battle. Some blessings going out from the priest in the back of Rus, and some gusts of winds, and some imps were summoned as well. This is just a moon warrior accompanied by some imps. Who's casting the wind? Blessing by the ethereal, some imps blessing. Do they have another mage in here somewhere? Let's see, F1, C. No, they only have the moon priest, so it seems like the wind is friendly fire. From the Thunder Priest of Rus. Yes, it is. Sun Warriors, Russian Warriors. Yes, so it seems like at first he was hitting with the spell their enemies, the Sun Warriors, and next a little bit of their troops, and then just all friendly fire. And I have spotted that we can see the blessing that Ruth has. More 1 solar weapons, so that's additional 4 armor piercing fire damage on hit, which is usually fairly weak as it rarely can go through armor because it's only 4 points of damage, so we only need like medium armor to completely negate it. But the damage is magical and will be effective versus ethereal beings, so it can help against like these shades, for example, who have 0 protection, but they are ethereal. Defense +1. Spirit Sight again helps, I think. Well, it helps with invisible and units, and it gives, I think, complete dark vision, combat speed +30, so that's swiftness maybe, defense and combat speed. Inspiration +1, leadership +50 for their commanders, and weightlessness, which I believe reduces encumbrance of armor for their mages. I'm not sure if it's something that they actually need, as these guys only wear robes. Maybe they have some other mages that were encumbering armor, or maybe it's just a randomly generated blessing and it's not all completely useful. However, it's still a pretty heavy blessing. And army of Mictlan was decimated and is now running away. They've lost almost all of them, and during the retreat maybe some more. While Rus also has lost almost half of their guys. Some of the Russian warriors, the wolves, 2 crocodiles, 2 of the skin shifters, which are their, I believe, most elite troops. The most expensive one, 2 berserkers, 9 of the bear warriors, as they are only lightly armored, and the Zephyr commander. Now we can take a look at our own battle with Mictlan. That is for the one for the throne, I believe. They have a fairly hefty amount of province defense, but doesn't seem like anything else except for their profit. So we can see their blessing effects again. Blood 3, fire 2. It does have 1 fire gem and a single blood slave, it seems like. We shall see how it goes. And by the way, one more thing which I don't think I've mentioned regarding magic. So let's say a spell costs 20 fatigue and requires earth level 1 magic. If you are earth level 2, it costs half of that. And then if you are level 3, then I think it's again the result in half again. So the more skilled you are, the more spells you can cast without going overboard, basically. And it plays especially into the highest tiers of spells that might have 1, 2, or even 300 fatigue cost and might just kill your mage outright if they are not cast by a powerful enough mage or as a part of what it's called, a communion, where a bunch of other mages don't cast spells themselves, but only gain the fatigue that the fatigue of the spell that the communion master is cast is divided over the communion slaves. And it looks like we are being hit with these Bonds of Apostasy, which I think might be, it's a level 4 priest, and this might be some kind of a special priest spell against sacred targets. So it looks like it's probably there's a spell that works in a similar fashion when I think you have to do like a strength roll, and if you fail then you cannot move, and it seems like it has an additional effect of putting them up in flames. But it seems like our troops were able to very quickly and easily dispatch the enemy. We are just mopping up at this stage, and the battle is finished. We can see we only lost one Vine Man and 2 of our elite steel warriors while going against 104 province defense units and the 1 High Priest of the Sun who might have managed to escape. Brigands again taken up residence in a ruin. We already have province defense 10, which should slowly reduce the unrest here. So we have taken the Throne of Twilight, which will give our blessed troops defense +1, will give us some glamour gems, which we won't be able to use directly, but we can alchemize them and turn into other gems that we're going to be needing. And it also gives us a little bit of Dominion spread, similarly to us to a temple. It looks like they have a whole bunch of units in here, so I might just dump all of our gold into province defense. And I suppose we can exchange this temper armor into the better Soldiers of Steel spell. However, we have to check. Fatigue cost is 60, and it's going to be Earth Mage 4 after casting some Earth Power. So it should be 30 plus a little bit of fatigue, not that little from encumbrance, but then again some Earth Power gives Reinvigoration 4, which removes 4 fatigue per turn to counteract the encumbrance. So I think we should be able to cast the spell 3 times, and then maybe like, where is it, Personal Stone Skin for a little more defense. And our main guy, our prophet, maybe hide behind this group. Divinement to the side, and we can move a little bit to the back, even maybe a little bit further, as province defense I believe always start in the very middle of formation. Or we shall see if we are going to be attacked. We don't have any other provinces of ours that they could go to. Province is free of enemy units. Shall we send like these guys and like a few of the archers to take over that one province? They might put up some province defense, or even a lot if they wish, in there, but we shall test our luck and claim the throne and also search for magic sites. He can start moving here to provide some additional reinforcements. And we now don't have any money, but we are already building the fortress. What were you? Dwarven Hammer. We've produced another one. But I don't think we are crafting anything else as of yet. What were you doing? Site searching. Okay, I remember now. I guess we can put him on auto search to look for places of power of air magics. We have 8 more guys here. Do we have anyone? Well, we could put them on one of these guys. Or maybe like one of them. Hold and attack. You stand behind them and cast Blessing. Probably we would have to cast it twice. And then... yeah, then what? Like Temper Steel, then Earth Power, and then Protection of the Smithy on yourself. It would be better to send another guy with them if they are going to be trying to take over enemy provinces, like this one, for example. And then we could go with you. Summon... no, not with you. You can't summon Earth Power, so you... instead summon Earth Power and then Soldiers of Steel, and then maybe a Protection of the Smithy, while you will be casting the Blessings, and then not you, you cast the Blessings, then maybe Protection of the Smithy, and probably Magma Bolts, I'm guessing, but I'm going to leave it up to you. So it's Vitamar and Raf, who we are going to be sending somewhere around here so that they can start harassing the enemy. We don't have any gold to spare as we are preparing to defend the throne against counterattack. You can stay on them. You might... there's a risk that you are discovered, and probably a fairly high one. Hopefully Rus will maybe harass them more. What do I want from you? Just auto search for magic sites. And we are only left with our spies. Now you are cursed for some reason. There might be a magic site in here that curses anyone in the province has a chance, or maybe there was a special event that I missed in the past. Not sure why he's cursed. And I'm not even exactly sure what curse does. A cursed unit is very unlucky during battle. This increases the chance of getting permanent afflictions. That's right. And I know there's... I think Astral Magic has a spell that can do like a massive curse on the enemy army. And that allows you to then dispatch a large army easier, as they will get more wounds and become like weaker, faster. Let's see about the Crusher. 110 hit points, 9 size, 24 protection, very high. Only and to boot slash and pierce resistance, which halves the damage from these sources, so very tanky, however never heals. They can regain hit points in the lab provinces, has spirit side, but that doesn't matter much as he won't be probably hitting much with these stone fists. Can get into water as well, fairly high map move but not very high combat speed. We might want to get just another regular commander. Well, no, it has to, because it's a magic being, so it will have to be one of our shamans. to move the crusher around, and we also have gotten our clockwork smith. So let's take a look at them now. Not many hit points, only 7, but fairly high natural protection, and a buckler, only parry 2, with a total defense of 10, so not very good at defending itself, however is pretty hard to hit, to damage, thanks to the armor. Magic resistance a little bit higher, morale probably because it's mindless, but that might mean that he needs a mage in the battle with him, or he will... No, this is not the one I'm thinking of. So mindless beings are unaffected by some spells such as charm and mind burn. I think of something else. Shock resistant, fire, cold, and poison are all fairly high, poison even more, which makes sense for an inanimate magic construct. Has reinvigoration 6, so can cast a lot of spell. The one forge bonus can also summon the clockwork soldier, however has exhaustion turn, gains fatigue each turn up to 150. So in combat, in 10 turns, it will just stop working. It's a clockwork mechanism. You have to wind it up every so often for it to be able to work. Is an okay researcher with 1 earth and 1 fire magic. So I guess for now we will be using it to summon allies, and I wonder how many are those. Is it going to be, is it only 1 per turn or more? Probably 1, I'm guessing. Let's see what else. Again, battle for the throne, and this time it seems in favor of Mictlan, so they are doing some push and pull. They have a Rain Priest, Water, 2 Blood, 2 Mage with them. And any other commanders? And yeah, the Concert going against a Chieftain and a regular Priest and a Thunder Priest with the Air Magic, and that's the fairly good fighter that we looked earlier at, a Mercenary, going against a fairly large force of the province defenders, the local militia, some crocodiles, some hunters, some warriors and skin shifters. So it seems like these guys are going to be doing the bulk of damage. They are also lost and they cannot be replenished, as these are mercenaries. It just looks like their priest is doing some friendly fire into his own troops with these cold bolts. He did score a good hit as well in here. I wonder, are they cold-blooded? They are. So they get a little more quickly fighting in cold provinces, but I'm not sure if cold damage also does anything to them, if it fatigues them more or not. Another good cold bolt into the archers, it looks like. Just spamming these projectiles. How are you on fatigue? Yeah, he is now over fatigued. That killed one of their friendlies, I think, but the shamblers, the war shamblers, have during this time dispatched the enemy infantry, and they are now going for their back line. You can speed it up a little bit. The crocodiles are, I think, fairly tanky. They have 23 hit points maximum and like medium 12 points of protection. However, they are size 5, so only 2 per square. And their stats are highly lowered because they are routing. This one is crippled. So normally it's just base 10, and I think, okay, 0, but -1 defense from the bite. So not great damage dealers, not great fighters, but they do well as tanks. And it looks like the province defense just routed, the archers run away, and that's it for the battle. However, Mictlan did take some casualties. two of the warrior shamblers, two sun warriors, the one wound warrior that they had, and one regular cheap warrior, while Rus lost more than half of their troops. Basically all of them, with they might have retreated, some of them they might have not. And another fight in Ulifa in here. This time Rus brings a larger army with a lot of these hunters in the back, and they are only going against some basic province defense with a few of their more elite warriors mixed in, but I don't imagine they will be very effective in such a small number facing a force this large. And by the way, Domions 6 has increased from Domions 5, have increased the battlefield size, and they tweaked the incomes and the unit prices, so now you will be seeing, comparing to Domions 5, more units. So this is still like a maybe medium-sized army. There can be few hundreds, like in here there might be 580 troops guarding this throne. So this is the one that will probably live alone in the middle of the world. Let's see what else. We had the hopefully small fight against Mictlan, trying to take their undefended province. They did put some province defense in there, and we don't have a lot of troops ourselves. This guy doesn't have any equipment, only 1 star of experience. Our archers, I think, are a little bit better than them. Not really. They are kind of slightly worse. Well, they have the experience, so they are more precise. We should be landing more of the arrows, but they have worse armor and probably a little bit more health. As early age units are a bit tougher and a bit stronger than regular humans. I can speed it up a little bit. Our warrior chief is going to be fending off 4 enemy light infantry. He did take a hit. He dispatched 1 with a swing of his great sword. Then he took a spear to the body, but thankfully he has an okay defense, not very high, like medium tier, and only took 1 point of damage. Was repelled because he's got a length 2 weapon, while their spears are length 3. And now they are routing. He did manage to take out another one. I believe our infantry and archers did enough damage that inflicted enough like army wounds that they just started to rout. And we only lost 1 shield maiden. There wasn't any real troops, only a little bit of province defense in here. So we now have this province, and we will not be going against Machaka in the mountain. Into the mountain. Let's see, we are apprehensive with them, however, still at peace. Unrest 21, so I will go up to 10 to slowly push it down and go back here onto the throne to help defending it. And once again, it seems like we have to cut down on our spending. We shall leave this guy because he's very cheap, only 90 gold, because we want to put a fort in here as well. And now our blessing is a little better. If we click at one of our temples, well, we only have the one at the capital for now, we can see the bless effect. We have now the defense skill +1, additionally to the quickness, which also grants 2 points of defense and 2 points of attack. I believe we go in here, we can see The blessings, I'm sure we can in here, yeah, blessing known. So we can see their blessings here. We don't know the one for Machaka yet, as we haven't spied on any of their battles. What do we want to do in here? I guess just patrolling, preaching. There is a little bit of unrest in here. You will transport a few more troops. I wonder, I suppose if we are going to be connecting with them anyways, because we don't really have an angle to start harassing. Well, actually, now that I think of it, we do have an angle to start harassing them, because all of our troops are stealthy. So we can just tell them to go here, and we might be able to deal some nice damage. The construct is definitely not very sneaky. And let's take you, and I suppose you can have these guys as well. I guess hold an attack, and you can join here and pass the construct to this army. Is unfortunately, partially due to our scales, we are fairly low on money, and because we are playing against difficult AI, it will only get worse with time, I think, as the AI is going to be getting a bonus and they will be just able to field bigger armies. And it's just, the effect is just exacerbated more with the fact that we are poor and can only field rather small but elite armies. Let's see, we didn't find any new magic sites. We did see another battle in here, even two. First, Ulm versus Ross. I believe this will be our scout was found and dispatched. I probably should have put them on retreat, although I guess it doesn't matter because they are in. Yeah, it wouldn't matter at all because you need to have a province to retreat to. You have to border a friendly province, and I think maybe there are more friendly provinces there are that you can get to. And while running from a battle, the higher chance that you will run away successfully. So we can take a quick look. It looks like they are probing the enemy with one commander, or maybe like blocking their army from going to some different place. And the one commander was heroically defending himself from the wolves. They were trying to bite his head, apparently, but thanks to his armor, he lost an arm, got an arm bitten off, and then finally succumbed to the wolf bites. Did he manage to take one out? He was with his broadsword. So that was that, and then the lair of a hideous troll has been found. Within were the bones of unfortunate travelers. Among the dreadful remnants, gold and magic gems were found. The troll itself escaped. So we get a bunch of gems and a little bit of gold. And this is the province with the throne. We shall be again passing over these troops back to you. And you can give him the javelin. However, range is tied to your strength, so it's going to be only 13. So I think you should still be hiding behind troops and commanding from the back rather than trying to go and throw these javelins. We see that Machaka has moved more troops into their province, and they are at war with Mictlan, or are they not? No, they aren't yet, I think. Machaka isn't at war with anyone. It's only Rus and Mictlan and us and Mictlan, I think, up to this point. At least that's the extent of fighting that we saw. This guy has valor, actually, so he's better at leading troops. So this is, while they are under our profit, they have +1 morale, but if we move them here, they now have +2. So it looks like this guy is going to be quite useful for us actually now. And what other messages? New famous hero, the Valor that we just saw, and fortress being built in here. So now we can get one wizard's apprentice per turn, or one of these guys per 2 turns, and we can now also recruit our national troops in here. And we can still, I actually missed that, we can still recruit the cavalry. I forgot that it's a thing. So we will be producing the heavy cavalry in this province, as we don't have access to any cavalry troops otherwise. And we shall start building a palisade in here. And that's all the money that we have to spare, unfortunately. I guess you can wait here if we have some troops to move out. You summoned 2 clockwork soldiers. They also they have the exhaustion effect. However, they can hit fairly hard and also have high protection and the elemental and poison resistances. So I wonder if we want to invest more into that and get one more of these clockwork smiths. We could also be summoning ogres, biting scorpion beasts. We might start doing that in our capital, actually. And what can you summon anything useful? No. He has high water magic, so he could summon cool stuff underwater. Ice Golem. Radiates cold. You know what? Let's get one just to see how it's going to look, what's going to do for us. We do have some death gems to spare. We could go with a Bane and then Whites. And we might also craft some additional protective items for the Bane. Like the bracers of protection. I think it's going to be having like a heavy scale mail. We can give him the black full plate. It will make him super slow but very tanky, because if I remember correctly, because he's undead, he won't really get tired. Ranger's boots would be good for our mages for some additional reinvigoration. I wonder if we should start spamming those. And a stealth boost, so we would be able to harass the enemy backlines even better. And maybe boots of strength for the Bane or some other item. Barkskin amulet for Barkskin, more protection, however susceptible to fire. He doesn't need more morale as he is undead and won't be routing. A Horde helmet maybe. We have a lot of nature gems to spare, and this is giving a second attack with -1 attack, however, and 0 damage, so it's based on strength. So sure, let's just fully kit out this this Bane. Let's give him the Boots of Strength as well, because why not? And then second turn we will get some whites for him, which are also, they have like chainmail, heavy chainmail, and shields and broadswords, so they are also fairly effective. I guess maybe let's move it here for now. Maybe we'll be able to build a fortress in here in the future. And here we are building up the palisades. Our scouts, I guess we can move you around a little bit. You are on the throne, you are here on the border with Machaca. So next episode we shall see what happens to this trio of armies if maybe Machaca would start moving against us, or Mictlan, if Mictlan will try to get their throne back, or if everyone will just chicken out and hold where they are. So that's what we're going to be seeing next episode.